stirring music on Oman FM this morning. Good morning to you. I'm Adam. We are your nation station on this, the 23rd day of July. It's Renaissance Day. Congratulations to one and all on this 48th Renaissance Day. Special guests with us in the studios this morning, representing Knowledge Oman and Oman in general. Good morning to Balqees.
Morning.
And good morning to Khalfan.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning to you guys. Great to have you along. Thank you very much for taking the time out to come and talk to us on this special day today. It's a very exciting day, isn't it?
It is, definitely. Happy Renaissance Day to everybody.
That's wonderful. Balqees, you have a part in Knowledge Oman, but you have a background in education. Just tell us a brief potted history about you and your career.
Sure. Well, I started first as a lab technician in Al Sahwa School. I graduated from Sultan Qaboos University, and I feel so proud to be one of the graduates there. I started my career as a lab technician. From there, I started to get promotion as a science teacher, and I was the first science teacher to teach sciences for the upper grade in Oman.
Wow.
And then later after that, I was appointed as the pastoral coordinator, where I was looking at the pastoral issue with the students and the staff.
Just explain to us, some of us that might not know, pastoral care.
Right. More to look at the emotional thing of the students and the staff. As you see, the students sometimes they go through educational kind of stress,
Sure.
and they need to know how to manage that. So I'll be always there to listen to them, advise them, and guide them to get out of this stage, let's say. And then after that, I was appointed also as the assistant principal of Al Sahwa School.
Wow.
And again, that was one of the biggest rank position for an Omani in an international school, bilingual. And then after that, I was also promoted as the GED coordinator, which is the General Education Diploma. And last year, I was appointed as the head of well-being at Al Sahwa School.
That's amazing. So, you've obviously put a lot of hard work in over your career so far, Balqees.
Of course. I mean, I went through a lot of professional development things. They said, if you look at any person who is moving from one position to another, it means that that person did a lot of work on him or herself to move from one post to another, because you all the time need to educate yourself about the changes that is happening.
Sure.
So the professional development provided by the school was an essential thing for me to move from one rank of position to another.
That's fantastic. Baqlees Hassani with us this morning, and also our good friend Khalfan. Good morning, Khalfan. Would you just like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your splendid self on this glorious day?
Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you again for having us here. But first, before I introduce myself, I would like to take this opportunity to send my greetings to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos and the people of Oman on this occasion of the 40th Renaissance Day.
Here, here.
I would also like to ask the Almighty to grant His Majesty good health, long life, and prosperity always. So my name is Khalfan Mahrazy. I work for Ooredoo. Back then was known as Nauras. I joined Ooredoo in 2005.
So that was at the beginning, That
yes.
We were discussing this off air, weren't we? This was for me, a big turning point in Oman. We talk a lot about the modern Renaissance, but we talk about the way the business developed, and there was a definite shift in what was going on in Oman at that time, back in 2004, 2005, as you say.
Definitely. When we came in, I think we were the cutting edge, telecom company. We introduced a lot of new technologies and a lot of new products and services, and alhamdulillah, the company is still growing.
And you're still with them.
And I'm still with them. I've been there for almost 14 years now. I started off as a contact center agent.
You weren't one of these people we would dial up and
Yes.
they say, hello, how can I help you? Yeah. Was that you?
Yes.
So you must have helped me a few times there. Thank you.
Anytime. And then 2 years after that, Ooredoo introduced something called Internet Specialist. It was the first team in Oman to support internet at households. So we had a dedicated team that goes to customers' premises to help people with the internet issues. I was one of the first people to be in that team, and then later on I was appointed as the team leader of that team. And then in 2010, Ooredoo was granted the license for fixed services. I was granted as a team leader also of of a dedicated team to support the broadband services.
So both of you, both yourself, Khalfan and Balqees, you're good shining examples really of Omanis and how Omanis have been prospering over the years, especially in these modern times, which is really good. You're both part of something very dear to us here at Oman FM. Our good friend Tariq Al-Bawani's name comes up. Of course, he's our leader, if you like, with Knowledge Oman.
Yes,
And Balqees, you described him something. We were talking about him being a bit of a whirlwind of people.
Yeah.
How would you describe Tariq?
Well, Tariq Al-Barwani is a person who really unleashed potentials of people. And he's humble, down to earth. I haven't met anyone like Tariq in my life, to be honest.
Really?
The amount of belief and trust that he gives a person to have huge strides in life.
Okay.
Is something that I have learned from Tariq. And
Wow.
one thing that everybody should know about Tariq, that he would do a lot of things, but he would never take credits.
Wow.
He would never take credits.
Wow.
He would all the time say that it's a teamwork. And I mean, all of us, even in Knowledge Oman, we know
True,
that.
true. I
He's
agree.
the steering wheel of everything. But then it goes like, the president and the VP is doing. But then me and Khalfan, we go like, yes, we know who is it. We know who is it. We just like, give a wink every time, every now and then.
Knowledge Oman's sort of prime objective really is to offer support, and with people like yourselves that are from various industries, various developments here in Oman, to offer support to start-up people, to advise people, and to sort of help them through some difficult times. Would
Yes.
you give us some example of that, Khalfan?
Okay, but I would like to talk about the history of Knowledge Oman first.
Okay.
How it started and when it started.
All right.
It started in 2008, and the main objective of the project is to bring professionals from different background and different nationalities together to work on initiatives and projects that contribute to the betterment of the society and to the betterment of the country
Right.
as a whole. We are a group of professionals coming from different backgrounds, and all of us are having full-time jobs. As you can see, Baqlees is from education sector, from telecom sector. We have people from bank, we have people from oil and gas. All of us coming together to do one noble cause, and that is to contribute to knowledge freely in the country. We have done several initiatives over the last 10 years. When we started in 2008, we started as online forums, but it was not like any other forums. The forums that we had back then, it was bilingual first, it was English and Arabic, and it was dedicated to contributing knowledge only, knowledge topics. We had forums like science, biology, networking, C++, operating system, and we had dedicated moderators working 24 hours around the clock to answer people's requests and inquiries.
So this was also a first of its kind then really in Oman, perhaps.
Yes.
With Knowledge Oman for providing this support.
Yeah.
We had forums in Oman, but they were not dedicated to knowledge only.
Right.
So we were the first one to launch such an initiative in the
And
country.
it's something you do to give back to the
the
society, really, in that sense.
Yes.
That's
And
fabulous. That's fabulous.
then we said enough walking behind the computers.
Right.
Yeah, we said now it's enough
Get out
walking
face
behind.
to face.
Let's put boots on the ground.
Right.
Then
Boots
we
on the ground.
Yes.
I
then,
like it.
Then we started rolling out seminars, workshops, and we wanted people to see who are the people behind Knowledge Oman. We rolled out a lot of seminars that youth are looking for to learn things like how to run your business, how to get funds for your business, what are the tools and initiatives that government are having out there for them to enhance their capabilities to contribute to the country. We listened to the people, and we rolled out a lot of seminars and workshops. We brought a lot of people from different industries to come and talk to youth. What do they need? What do they need to go out there and contribute to the economic growth? What do they need to go out there and contribute to nation building ultimately?
Okay.
That was the second phase of Knowledge Oman. So it was online, then we went to workshops, and between there we launched a lot of other things also. We launched something called Oman Wall. It was like a Facebook for Omanis only.
I see.
Yes, we launched.
Oman Wall. I didn't know that.
And
Wow.
it did very good. in within maybe 6 months, we had around 50,000 registrants.
That is a real great achievement.
Yes.
We're with Khalfan and Balqees, both representing Oman and Knowledge Oman today on this glorious day, the 48th year Renaissance Day anniversary today, talking Oman's development from the last 10 years of Knowledge Oman as well. We're going to take a little break and then we'll be back to talk a little bit more about education here in Oman and its development, and also more about Knowledge Oman. You're listening to your nation station. My name is Adam Cole. We are Oman FM.
The nation station. Oman FM.
The Oman Arab Bank credit card can get you to London for free.
Welcome, sir.
All you for the past 2 days. Such a fabulous show we've got every morning, actually. Just a small message for the Renaissance Day only. Actually, just want to wish the whole of Oman, everybody who's here, the citizens, the residents, the tourists, every single person who's here, a very blessed and a wonderful and a happy Renaissance Day only. So yeah, it's developments that been so drastic, it's been such a dazzling development everywhere you go. I'm going every single time to every town in Oman, such an amazing developments. So thank you to His Majesty, thank you to the Omani people, thank you to everyone who helped with this year.
Thank you, Venkadraman, this morning. That's very, very sweet of you.
The nation station. Oman FM.
It's Adam here on Good Morning Oman on this special day today. 23rd day of July 2018, and it is of course the 48th Renaissance Day. Congratulations to one and all on this special day, and many thanks to Venkadraman. Wasn't that very nice to hear from Venkadraman? It was
Exactly.
was a good dedication.
Oh,
thanks to him.
I don't know how long he's lived here for, but it sounds like he's seen quite a lot of development over the time.
Indeed.
And such a nice voice. Balqees, and we're with Balqees and Khalfan talking about Oman's development today and the opportunities that have been availed to you. Balqees, you're still in education. You mentioned pastoral care just now about, not just looking at the memorizing and the teaching and that, but how the kids, and not just the kids, you mentioned the teachers as well, how are actually doing, how their well-being. And you've been assigned, you've got this title of well-being
head of well-being
of well-being at Al Sahwana.
Right.
How in your eyes has education changed in these few years, in the last, say, 10 years, would you say?
Well, I think, Adam, it would take us really hours and hours if we're going to talk about education. But I would just give the some key highlights of the change that happened during the education sector. Well, in 1970, Oman was having only 3 main schools. Al-Saidia schools.
Wow.
Only 3 with number of 900 students only. Can you imagine? 900. Wow. And the basic education was given to students was basically the basic reading, writing, and very simple mathematical addition, division, that kind of thing. Teaching back then was more into teacher-centered learning, which means that the teacher stands up there and starts to execute all the information, the student absorb them, memorize them, and that's it.
At least expected to memorize it.
Exactly. That was all about it. But then, if you look at education now, it's more into student learning or student-centered learning, where the students are involved more now into the education process. You would find the student now able to get the information sometime even before the teacher knows it.
Wow.
And why is that? Because we are having now something called the technology implementation in education. Now, what I can see now that technology is working side by side with education. There are many pillars that shows how technology is invading the education. For example, Ministry of Education, they opened the electronic portal the electronic portal, it's basically considered to be the essential pillar in the process of technology employment and education.
Okay.
It provides services for all the stakeholders in education sector, teachers, students, and parents. And another technology employment is the school digital map. It's just by clicks you can get into the school in different governorate of Sultanate, and you get all the statistical data.
So the kids are much more interacting with the internet, but you mentioned about student-centered learning, and this is a very interesting point. It's really the student taking on the responsibility of his or her learning as well, isn't it? You know, and working at a pace that they're happy and feel comfortable with, rather than, as you say, that old-fashioned, you know, I don't know about you, Khalfan, but when I was at school in Baqlees, it was literally that, you know, we did our times tables, 1 times 2,
exactly,
and you sort
tedious,
of walk around like a zombie, you know?
Exactly.
and what have you, yeah. And something else we talked about as well, which I'm sure your role in well-being as well, looking at the student, how that's been developed for you, is that gap between you know, when you move up from 1 year or one grade to the next grade, you know, you go from, let's say, I think in from what I know, at the sort of the higher grade of the primary area to that first grade of the senior area, and you have that. You finish your year, let's say in June or July, you have your little holiday with your family, and you go back and suddenly you're expected to behave completely differently and be an adult. You know, I can see there's a lot of room for your advice and your guidance there. Could you give us any examples of anything that you encounter with?
Well, as a role of head of well-being in our school, one of the key responsibility that I do is to welcome the new staff, because as you know, our school is international school, so we do have different nationality, different backgrounds coming to school.
Okay.
It is my responsibility to conduct those induction sessions with the staff, so they don't go through the cultural shock. You see, especially for those who never been in the Middle East. So for us, we do have those session with them, talking about Oman's culture, talking about the heritage the country have. We talk about also the history that we went through. Plus, we take them to some touristic sites during their first week of induction, so they feel more home. Because you see, even if you are mature enough, but then the homesick is there. You feel you're going back, and sometimes you question yourself, have I took the right decision?
Of course, yeah.
To leave, you know, my country and then come to this zone where I'm not even aware about the culture of this country.
Very much. It's very interesting talking about this, because, you know, we always talk about education, and we always have done, really, talked about the education of the student, but here, you know, you're talking about the education and the well-being of everybody concerned in a school unit. Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that I also like to add in the key responsibility of the head of well-being is to work closely with the academic team in developing connection between student well-being and academic process. So if you're having student in a really good emotional and physical shape, the outcome will be really nice when it comes to the academic process. And at the same time, we do develop program ensuring the importance of the mental and physical well-being of the entire school committee. For example, we do have some stress management workshop. We do have some mindfulness courses, and for students, we work with the counselor, with the pastoral team leader to provide specialist care. It's all about looking at individual as a human being, not only a tablet kind of thing. You know, there are emotions also involved there. So we look at that in order to have a better leader for Oman in future.
That's fantastic. And of course, a lot of the things that we're talking about here of what we've seen come up in the last few years as part of this empowering of the nation under the guidance of His Majesty. Very much so. We are Oman FM. It's just coming up for 10 minutes away from 9. I'm very conscious of time here. But we've also, as well as Balqees Al Hassani, we've got Khalfan Mahrazy. Is that good? Have I got is my pronunciation good?
Spot on.
I've got the air in the right Mahrazy. What do they normally say? Mahrazy?
Normally the Western they say Mahrazy.
Mahrazy. Okay, that's not too bad, is it? Fantastic, Khalfan. We're all having a wonderful conversation here about Oman's developments over the years. Let's get back to Knowledge Oman that you represent. Have you been involved with Knowledge Oman yourself recently? Because I saw you both in the newspaper the other day. A lovely photograph of you and Elena and several other people. Tell us about that photograph in the newspapers.
Yes, so I'm the president of Knowledge Oman. Yes, and Balqees is the vice president.
Should I
stand? No, please. What you have seen on the newspaper last week is a new team that we have formed for the new strategy that we're going to work on in the coming years from now. As I said previously, we started online, then we rolled workshops and seminars, but the new direction right now, we say that we have already built a very strong brand in the country. We have contributed to a lot of initiatives that contributed to the betterment of the community and so forth. Now we sat and said, now let's go to the right sector. Let's go to the main sector itself, and that is education. Now we're going to hit the education sector itself. What are we going to do now? We're going to bridge the gap between education and the industry.
Right.
And how are we going to do that? We sat and discussed a few things, like we understand that there are a lot of people or students who are graduating today, but majority lack one thing, that is work experience. And there is a serious need of addressing important things like job readiness for students. There is also an important element of aligning the curriculum and the industry needs or industry requirements that is missing, and there is a need of emphasizing on skill-based education.
Sure. And also, you're here and you're addressing these things. The students' expectations as well. That's got to be something which we all, what do they expect? They're gonna traditionally, all of us around the world expect that we finish our schooling or finish our university degree, and then we get a high-paying job, and that's it.
That is the problem. That's the missing element that we have in majority of the students. So we said we are going to try to bridge
that gap.
To make it smaller. And how are we going to do that? We're going to roll out a lot of workshop, a lot of seminars and workshops and
forums and opportunities.
Will bring experts from industries and connect them with the education sector, with students, and these experts will tell the students what exactly should you study, what is expected from you, what are the areas that you need to focus on in your education. And then also the students will have their questions to these industrial experts. And then that's how we're going to build this bridge together. And we're not going to do it just like that, in a boring way. We're going to call it edutainment. We're going to make it fun. Also, we're going to make competitions. We're going to bring students together. They're going to have competitions like football, let's say even dancing. Why not?
Well, does Knowledge Oman have like a premises where you can carry out these things, or are you looking at getting venues to host these seminars and these meetings, would you say?
That's the good thing about Knowledge Oman, by the way. We are a people organization. We do not have office. We work in coffee shops, but when we conduct these seminars and workshops, we get venues. We get people, we have a lot of partners, by the way, who are helping us to contribute to youth development. They gave us the venues, we conduct our seminars and workshops.
I see.
Yeah, we have people like PACA, Public Authority of Civil Aviation.
Oh, yeah.
We conducted our seminars last year there. We have colleges, we have partners in education sectors as well. They give us these auditoriums, school halls, colleges, and we conduct our seminars and workshops there.
And can we have any website, or is there Facebook addresses? How can people who haven't already, believe it or not, some people might not have heard of Knowledge Oman just yet. How can people learn more about this?
Thank you so much for bringing that up. That was the part I was going to address. I encourage people to go and visit www.knowledgeoman.com, or they can email us directly at info@knowledgeoman.com. There is a dedicated team of communication team who will respond to people who are willing to join our cause, And we have a special induction or onboarding session where we will bring them in, we will introduce to Knowledge Oman team, we'll introduce to the initiatives that we are working on. They will get a full board welcome session of what exactly we're trying to do, what have we done over the last 10 years, and what is our next strategy.
And as you're now discussing this new strategy for the next, I don't know, is it a period of time that, you know, like our national plans here, 5 years, 2 years? How are you looking? Have we looked at it at all, like in those time frames at all?
Honestly, it's 10 years plan now.
Right.
The education,
okay.
but we're going to roll out step by step.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
It's been wonderful talking to Balqees Al-Hassani and Khalfan Al-Mahrazy from our good friends, Tarek, as we mentioned, from Knowledge Oman. Just in closing, ladies first, it's our 48th Renaissance Day today, Balqees. I know we started off with a congratulatory message, but surely we must have a couple more messages from you to close today.
Well, I'd like to thank, first of all, thank you for this lovely interview session, and also extend my greetings to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, and may Allah grant him good health. And we're so proud to be Omani today because of his leadership, and and happy Renaissance Day for everybody.
That's lovely. And I think not just Omanis, I think we're all swept up in
all
this.
Right, all, because you guys contributing in our development as well. And thank you for that. We're so honored to have you all.
But we feel like it. And thank you very much. Ladies first, and now Khalfan.
Thank you very much, Adam, for having us here. For me, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Tariq Hilal Barwani, the founder and the chairman of Knowledge Oman, for building this beautiful platform that brought a lot of talented people in the country to contribute to the wealth of this country, and for believing in us. And mashallah, the guy, he is a visionary.
Yeah.
We believe in him. We believe in his vision. I always sit with him personally. I tell him, give me your vision and I'll execute it. Don't worry. We have soldiers on the ground. We believe in you. I would like to thank him and thank all Knowledge Oman team members who are listening to us today. We have a lot of things to do, inshallah, after this interview.
I'd like to add only one small thing, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Tariq all the time used to say that Knowledge Oman is a platform made by people, for people, to serve people. And that was our motto since we have ever started Knowledge Oman.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. Balqees and Khalfan, have a great day and happy Renaissance Day today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the year again. The Salalah Tourism Festival is back, and it's bigger and better than ever. Ongoing from the 10th of July all the way until the 25th of August. And we here at the Nation Station will be covering it for you every single day, 7 to 8 p.m. with me, Talal Al-Shahri, and Hani Al-Baraka. It's Salalah time. Salalah time. Only on your Nation Station. The Nation Station. Oman FM.
Good morning, Oman. On this special Renaissance Week,